Hello and welcome, ladies and, well, probably just gentlemen. But this is basically a new series I'm going to be running on here. It's not really a series as such, but what I'm just going to be doing is just giving you more recaps, going over the trades on the long form. I generally have been prioritizing the short form, but I'm going to look to do a bit more of the long form, mate. And you boys can get to know me better. Maybe I can get to know you guys better. But for today, what I basically want to do is go over the previous 2 weeks, the previous 14 days from today. Today's the 24th of September. So starting off on the 10th, there was no trades until the 16th, as you can see on the screen here. But just going over all the trades I've taken, why I took them, and then obviously, as you can see, the results of every single trade. So I just want to run that down. But in the previous 14 days, we've had 7 trades. And in total, we've had quite a few wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, one of them being a partial, or 2 of them being partial. 5 wins, 2 losses. Win rate, you're gonna have to give me a second there, buddy. 71% win rate over the last 2 weeks. Obviously, that is a very small sample size, but the R that we're up, I'm up 9.77 R, okay? But as I said, boys, I just wanna go through, show you everything, all the trades I've been taking over the last 2 weeks, and then maybe you can gain some knowledge, maybe you can just see how I'm trading a bit more. But we'll obviously start on the first trade, which was on the 16th of September, on NQ. Okay, cool, boys. So this is the first trade that I've taken within the last 2 weeks. So coming into the day, I was bullish on the daily 4 hour and 1 hour. Obviously, I am trading the hybrid only. Well, I have some mech accounts, but this data on here is all only hybrid data. So coming into the day, if I'm bullish, the first thing that I'm looking for is a sweep of the lows. So coming into London session, I was looking for a sweep of previous session lows being Asian lows. And as you can see, we didn't actually get that there. So that's fine. I wasn't looking to take a trade within London session, but coming into New York session, London lows was a lot closer. And obviously we're waiting for a sweep of that. And as you can see here, we swept London lows as soon as we came into New York Open. And obviously that 230 volume is quite high. So after we got the sweep, you boys probably know the rules by now. We're looking for a bullish candle, which we get right here. And that allows us to be able to draw the fake out zone. So if I get the fib out, we can see the fake out zone is here. We push below it, perfect. And all I'm waiting for is break of structure, mate. And that is obviously going to be in line with my bias. So I want that confirmation that we're going to be looking to go to the up. As you can see here, get a candle closure above the fractals. And if you boys are new here and you don't know what these little arrows are, mate, indicator, it's going to load. Right, I can't be fucking asked to let it load, but that is Fractals by Rachel T. And this basically allows you to mark out, well, it marks out for you the significant highs and lows. Because there's a lot of rubble. How do you know what's a break of structure? How do you know what's not a break of structure? How do you know what's significant? How do you know what isn't? This allows you to keep everything fully mechanical. In terms of my break of structure and highs and lows, I look for is a break of structure of fractals. But if I'm waiting for a break of structure in line with my bias, which I was, you can see that we get here a break to the upside. That is all I needed. So after that, going to get my fib out and bracket the move. So if I fib from the low to the highest point after the break, as you can see, came down, mate, straight after and tap the 0.618. Now, this was a pretty gay one, okay? This was pretty fucking gay because it didn't get filled on a lot of accounts due to margin. And I was being a fat gay twat. I didn't check the margin. So a lot of my accounts didn't eat, but however, a lot of them did. And this was literally 3R straight to the dome, not much drawdown, as you can see, tapped in here, came up and took us out there. I managed to trail, I think, on this, and we got 3.2R. This, my entry must have been a bit worse, and then I trailed here and got stopped out at 3.2R. But that is trade number uno, and we'll go to the next one. So the next trade was on Euro USD on the 17th. That was a 3R dub as well. Cool. Okay, cool, boys. So here I've got up Euro USD on the 17th, and I was bullish, so same thing, boys. I trade the exact same way every single day. I don't use discretion because I'm not a nerd. But first thing I was looking for, again, if I'm bullish, sweep a previous session low. So within London session, we're looking for a sweep of Asian lows. As you can see, we get that right here. And then all I'm looking for is a bullish candle in order to allow us to draw the fake out zone. And you can see we get a small bullish candle here. That's perfect. Next, fib tool. So we can draw the fake out zone. So previous session high, current low. And as you can see, we actually tapped the zone right here. I'll get a bit closer up so you boys can see. As you can see, we tapped the zone right here. So after that, same again, break of structure to the upside, and we get that right here. Let me mark this out for you. We get that break of structure, this candle body closure above. My break of structure, I only look for a candle body closure above or below, not a wick extension, because that's not a break. That is not enough confirmation for me. But we've got the previous session sweep, we've got the fake out, we now have the break of structure. All you need next is the fib tool, bracketing from the low to the highest point after the break. And as you can see, this was the highest point after the break. Now, this was another pretty gay one. I didn't get tapped on all of my accounts, I only got tapped on my raw accounts on this because of the spread. That's the game. ACG are pretty good with the spread, so I can't complain. Most of the time they are spot on. But as you can see here, this was another literally 0 drawdown, 3R win. I took this on my futures and some of my accounts with ACG. So, I mean, that's the game. 3R win. Obviously, I'm not gonna fucking complain. Didn't get taken on every single account, but a win is a fucking win, mate, and I'll take the money. So that is trade recap number 2. So we're up 6.2R so far. So we'll go to the next one on the journal. As you can see here, the next trade is on the 1st, and it was on NQ on the 17th, mate. So this was the same day. Right, boys, okay, so now we are on to the next trade, which was on the 17th on NQ, and this was taken within New York session. Now, coming into today, again, I was bullish. My bias hadn't changed, so I was waiting for a sweep of previous session lows during London session. We got the sweep, however, I didn't get the fake out. I got a break of structure on the 15, but it didn't New York cross. I'm not going to explain the New York cross because that's for the fucking inside circle, mate, and that's some serious sauce. But we didn't have that criteria anyway, so that meant that I was just waiting for a sweep of London lows now. So, as you can see here, we did get a sweep of London lows. And we also got that first bullish candle pretty much straight away after. I'll mark that out for you here. So, sweep of London lows, bullish candle. Boom, and then a push down. So, that's all we really need. And then obviously, what we need next, mate, fucking break of structure. So, we got the break right here. And it was a small break, but we do not trade discretionary, so a break is a fucking break, and you can't tell me otherwise. This was a candle body closure above, and I can zoom in if you want. Look, candle closed above, boom. So that allowed me to then get my fib tool on. I'm bracketing the move from the low to the high, and then I'll show you exactly where I would have got entered and where I would have got stopped. Okay, boom. So as you can see here, this is where I would have got filled. This is where I would have got stopped. So it was a pretty quick trade. Okay, mate, my mental's fine. It's mechanical trading. But yeah, as I said, like this is a quick trade, quick loss, fine with taking this trade. All of my criteria is met. A lot of people generally have like some psychology issues after taking a losing trade. All you need to do is ask yourself, did I follow my model? And yes or no? And did I do all the necessary steps? If it's a yes, just focus on your input. Don't focus on the results of the trade, because if you have a good model, you know, if you continue to do the correct inputs, you will continue to make money long term, or you will make money long term. Don't focus and zoom in on the micro. It's not important at all. But coming on to the next trade, okay? So if we're looking on the journal, this was on the next, this is on Friday, the 19th on NQ, and is a 2.25R win. Right, boys, and as you can see here, we now have the setup on here. So coming into today, again, my bias had not really changed at all for the last 2 weeks on NQ at least. I was bullish. So looking at a sweep of previous session lows again, Asian lows. Right here we get the sweep. After this, we didn't get the fake out. However, if you know the rules, you know the rules, and you know that we can get a break of structure on the 15 if we do not get the fake out, and it's just taking me to the middle of nowhere. Right, that's fucking brilliant. Okay, boom. So right here you can see we do actually get the break of structure on the 15-minute, and that is obviously still of a fractal and it's still got to close above. See, we get the break of structure here. I'll mark that out. Now, obviously, the reason why, if we do not get a fake out, we can get a break of structure on the 15-minute is due to the fact that it takes a lot more for price to break on the 15, a lot more volume, so it's a lot more confirmation for us to be able to take a trade. So once we got the sweep and break on the 15, all we need to do is get the fib on. We did not get filled within London session. However, we had the New York crossover rule, and that's some source that we do, as I said earlier, keep towards the VIP and the inner circle. So it meant that I actually did not need another sweep. All I had to do was continue to place the limits and wait for my entry on the 0.618. As you can see here, we got entered and boom. So it's a bit of a techie one, boys, because normally we close our trades on a Friday at 8 p.m. to avoid the new week opening gap. However, man's in Thailand and I'm 6 hours ahead. I got a bit sleepy, so I was like, okay, I don't want to stay up until 8, which is like 2 a.m. So I was like, okay, go to bed at 12, let me set an alarm. Our alarm did not go off, mate. However, I woke up at 3, so I did manage to get out of the trade before the weekend, before the market closed. So I'll show you where I should have got out and where I actually did get out. So I should have got out here at 1.6R basically. However, I ended up getting 2.25R, so we'll see where I actually got out around here, I think, which was 8.50. So 50 minutes late. I mean, obviously that's a rule break as such, but Apple need to pattern up, mate, because why did the alarm not go off and why did it not wake me up? Maybe it did go off and maybe I just snoozed it because I'm a fat, lazy prick. But worked out in my favor this time. Obviously, if I hadn't woken up in time, I could have lost some of my accounts or some of my live accounts. I don't think it matters for the evals, but I mean, that is the trade right there. So obviously New York crossover, bullish on the day, tapped into the 0.618. And that is another tap and barrel to the fucking dome. I mean, look, zero drawdown and boom, took out here, managed to get a bit lucky. I mean, play the game for long enough, turn up every day, you're gonna get lucky sometimes. So we'll go on to the next trade here, which was on the 22nd of September on NQ. Boom, yeah, this was another nice little win here, boys. So price had not changed over the weekend due to the market being closed. Surprise, surprise. So I was still bullish. So coming into the day, obviously, sweep, previous session lows. We're getting on it now. Previous session lows, waiting for a bullish candle in line with bias. We get that first bullish candle after the sweep. And then what I was waiting for was a tap back in, which this candle here did actually tap back into my fake out zone. And then all I need is a break of structure. And you can see right here, in line with my bias, we break structure to the upside. Boom. Can move the fib. Entries on the 0.618. This is mechanical trading. My entry model doesn't change day to day. Yes, I have certain variables that I can change and different models within the strategy. However, I'm not using my brain to think. I just follow the exact same thing every single time. And this chopped around for a bit. A lot of people be like, oh no, it's too low volume, mate. I need to get out because it's lower probability. I can't predict the market. I don't know what's going to happen once I'm in a trade. I'm too emotional when I'm in a trade, what I was when I used to previously trade discretion. So I just do set and forget, and that's always given me the best results. Obviously, this chopped around a bit. It could have gone to my stop loss. However, it did go to my take profit, and I obviously win 3 times harder than when I lose. That's a fixed 1 to 3 for you. It's not just off ease. This is what gives the best results anyway. Going to break even for me, I've tested it and it's never given better results than just setting and forgetting. So that was the trade that I took on Monday on NQ, and this is obviously, we're going on a fucking heater at the moment. Next trade that we took was on the 23rd, and this was yesterday. This was a 0.2R win, news pool for Euro USD, and I'll go over that right now. Okay boys, so we are now Euro USD, and this was yesterday. So I was bullish again on the day. Same again, sweep, Asian lows, we get that sweep right here. Literally the first candle into market open. So we've swept the lows, got the first bullish candle right here. So I can draw the fake out zone. And I'll draw the fake out zone, previous session high, current session low. And as you can see, we tapped into, oh no, it was drawn to here. So it was drawn to where the first bullish candle was, and obviously we tapped and went past it, boom. Okay, cool, so all I need is a break of structure on the 5, and we get that right here of a fractal in line with my bias. That's a BOS. So after that point, all I need to do, obviously same again, bracket the move from the bottom to the top with the fib, wait for my entry, limits on the 0.618. And as you can see here, we've got the limits on the 0.618. And what I'll do is I'll show you why I took out this trade early. Obviously I set and forget, however, there was high impact news, and I do not hold through high impact news that has a potential of slipping me. So if I go onto Forex Factory, yes, there was a heavy news day, however, there were ways that we can trade around it and time windows where we could trade around it. So there was 2:45 PMI. So that means I looked to get out my trades 30 minutes before the news release. So I pulled out here at 2:30, and that was hence the 0.2R win. Obviously, it's not major, mate. However, this push up did pass me more accounts. So it's like on accounts where I needed like 0.5R to pass. So fucking take it. 0.2R wins better than a fucking loss. So that is that trade done and recapped. However, we have one more trade that was taken yesterday, and that was on NQ, and that was a loss. I know, mate, take losses. That was a loss, and that was in New York session. So I know you're seeing 2 trades in one day here. The way that I approach it and the way that all the TMB boys approach it, well, most of them anyway, as far as I'm aware, is 1 trade per session per account. So take a trade in London session, you can take a trade in New York session. So if we go over here, cool. Okay, so same again, bias had not changed on NQ, and as you can see here, first confluence. We didn't get a sweep within London session, however, within New York session, we swept London lows right here, and then we got this bullish candle. This is a doji candle, however, it's still a bullish candle, zero discretion. Keep everything mechanical. So after that point, we get the fib out, previous session high, current low. And as you can see here, we definitely went past this 0.079 to the 0 zone. So that means we had the fake out. After that, same again, boys, break of structure to the upside on the 5. And boom, we get that right here, and that allows us to then fib on the move. And this was a quick loss. However, I followed the model, and that is all that matters. Focus on your inputs, boys. Tapped in the 0.618, boom, stopped out. Done. I mean, in terms of the like, previous 2 weeks, it's been a really good two weeks of trading. Obviously, we are up now 9.77R. Obviously, a bit of bullshit in terms of being not entered on some of those trades, and it's the game. So you just got to take what you can get and continue to trade the model and continue to follow it blind and just put the blinkers on and follow it. But I hope you boys enjoyed. I hope you got some value out of it. What my trade's been like. This has been a good previous 2 weeks, but I'm gonna do a trade recap after every single trade now. So I wanted to start with a bit of a longer one, and then I'll do a trade recap after every single trade. So take care, boys. I'll see you all next time.